Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So within today's video, we are going to be talking about the match between Barcelona and Mallorca. And within this game, Barcelona has won 1-0 with a goal coming from Lewandowski and a assist coming from Ansu Fati. And because of this away win against Mallorca, it is official that Barcelona are now 18 away games in a row unbeaten within La Liga. This is a league record. And so look, the way that we are going to be approaching this video, I don't want you guys to get confused with me being pessimistic. Yes, we are going to be talking about how exactly Barcelona were playing. They weren't playing that well. There were some things that did not look well on the field, but we are going to be explaining why exactly I am taking this approach and why Barcelona played in this way. And so let's get to it. And let's talk about the lineup first. So we can see that Balde was in the starting 11. We can also see Jordi Alba being in the starting 11, meaning that we had two left backs. Balde was the right back going up against Mallorca. It was said earlier before the game even started that Xavi Hernandez was using players like Alonso, Eric Garcia, Balde, trying them out as a right back and who can perform the best. And Xavi Hernandez has opted for Balde playing in the right back position. And then we can see that Pedri was rested. Kessie did start with Gavi and also with Busquets. So we go into the first half, and again, to be very honest, we did not have that much of a attacking presence in the first half. And I'm going to be again explaining why. It is because of this. Alejandro Balde was tucked in back. He was not necessarily acting as a true right back. He was not as forward as he was in this game, like if he were to play as a left back. And there is a big reason on why. That is because he is very limited on what he could do as a right back on that side. Mainly because he is a left-footed defender. He's only able to attack well on the left flank. Even though he did okay as a right back, he just wasn't that attacking force on the right side. And I do believe that Xavi was probably looking at this and saying, okay, look, you are a left-footed player. Most likely you're not going to be able to make those sharp passes on the right side with your right foot. We do not want you to commit any mistakes, and so we're gonna have to put you back much more behind than what you are supposed to do as a right back, because or else Barcelona might potentially concede. And so because of that role that Balde was given, and you could look at where the average position was for Balde in the first half, because of this, because he was so set back, that left Dembele with less support. Yes, he had some sort of support with Balde, but he did have much less compared to if we had Koundé or Ronald Araujo or maybe even Sergio Roberto. Usually we see Koundé on the right back position and we see him take off opponents, move players away in order to give Dembele space, and Dembele is able to prosper, right, and blossom on the right side and really be a dangerous player against the opponent. So it minimized the amount of work Dembele had to do. But again, because Balde was not that present on the right side, Dembele had to take everything by himself, and we saw sometimes Dembele dropping deeper in order to receive the ball from Balde or maybe Christensen or maybe someone like Gavi, and then the moment he moved forward with the ball, he noticed that he had to take down about 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 players. That is one of the reasons on even why many of us were saying, why isn't Dembele as active as we used to see him? Why isn't he involved as much? That is because of this reason. It is because there wasn't really that much support and Balde was not there. And then we can also add that with Mallorca being very well covered. They defended very well. So we did not see much from our best winger, which is Dembele, and Balde did what he had to do based off the role that he was given. So on the 21st minute of the first half, we saw Lewandowski score a golazo. Of course, Lewandowski is always going to be scoring. The best goal scorer in La Liga, it is in Barcelona. Barcelona do have the #1 best striker in the world, and that is Lewandowski. You look at the type of goal this player has scored, it was amazing. We first saw a great pass coming from Ansu Fati. He understood what Lewandowski wanted to do. He passes it towards the space. Lewandowski takes down one player and then scores a finesse shot on the bottom right corner. It was a very Luis Suarez type of goal. This is exactly what we do need, is to see goals like this, is to be able to see a player that can create goals for himself. Lewandowski has done exactly that. I don't even think that Lewandowski even looked at the goalpost at all or even noticed where the goalkeeper was at. It's just pure experience. He just knew exactly what to do. It is all just pure experience and body language. So again, moving forward from there, we saw a huge lack of attack for Barcelona through the first half. Dembele again was just left alone, isolated. Ansu Fati was still trying to get in his rhythm, and then again we had Balde, who was set back much further. And I felt like in a way Mallorca was gaining confidence because of this, because they knew that Barcelona were not able to be what Barcelona was supposed to be, and Mallorca was gaining momentum. They were counter-attacking Barcelona. I did not expect to see Mallorca do this. Not even, I don't think Barcelona expected Mallorca to counter-attack in this way, especially knowing that they were 1-0 down. And so they made so many long balls on Barcelona's left side where Jordi Alba was at. They really wanted to attack Barcelona's weaknesses, which was again Jordi Alba. Alba. So it was not the best performance. A lot of things went wrong for us. And again, one of the reasons on why Barcelona performed like this, why it was not the best, it is because of the injuries. It is the international break tax that was on Barcelona. It hurt Barcelona. We were forced to place Balde on the right back position, which affected Dembele. We did not have our best center backs, which was Koundé and Ronald Araujo, two players who demand to have way more presence and to keep the ball much higher up the pitch. And we look at the amount of possession Barcelona had. They had 70% possession of the ball in the first half, with Mallorca only having 30%. And you look at the other stats, Barcelona had the exact same amount of shots like Mallorca, which was a total of 6. And then if we look at the amount of shots that were actually on target, Mallorca had 1 and Barcelona only had 2. You would think that because Barcelona had more possession, we would have way more shots on target. But no, again, it was just the lack of presence. That's basically it. But it is understandable. I'm not going to be too hard on what Barcelona did tonight. Like, again, I'm going to be saying that yes, we did not play well, but we understand why. It is because of all of these injuries that we have encountered. So we go into the second half, we did not really come in with good sensations. We saw a few fights, brawls. It was getting very intense. Piqué and Christensen did receive a yellow card, and you can just see that Mallorca's intentions were beginning to be like, okay, we're trying to get in their heads. Let's get Barcelona angry. Let's have them do things that they're not supposed to be doing, and maybe we can find an open space and look for the goal. And Barcelona were actually losing their cool, especially with Gavi. Gavi was not reacting well to what Mallorca was trying to do, and that is why we saw him like body like 3 or 4 players, like literally like tackle players on the chest. And Mallorca were trying to play their best football. We saw Mallorca build well on both flanks. They grew into the game. It really did concern me because, again, like, I understand it and I know why Barcelona did look very weak on the flanks, but it concerned me because what if it's Bayern? What if it was Real Madrid? It could have ended much worse. So Mallorca fought and they saw their chances. I think that Barcelona in a way were reacting okay, but not the best. We did not see the Barcelona that we wanted to see. The biggest chance that we had in the second half was Pedri receiving the ball by Gavi making an amazing pass on the 79th minute. And the moment Pedri received the ball inside the box, he was literally just like in a 1v1 situation with the goalkeeper, but he chose to pass it. I'm like, oh my god, like this is pure like body repetition. Like Pedri has always been a player that always likes to pass, and like he did a pass on a 1v1 situation with the goalkeeper when he could have easily just shot the ball, but he chose to pass it, and it is what it is, right? Pedri made that mistake, and I hope that he does learn from that. We don't always have to pass the ball. Sometimes you just have to make that extra leap. So again, going through the second half, Barcelona never really reacted well and great and with confidence against Mallorca. Alba was one of our worst players. He did not look that convincing. I do not think that this was a real Barcelona football match for me, in my opinion. I do believe that throughout these 90 minutes, Barcelona had a very tough time on trying to figure out how could they stop Mallorca, which they never could. Mallorca always counterattacked. They always saw every opportunity all the way up until the 90th minute. And we won, right? We got these 3 points mainly because we do have that great duo that is being built between Ansu Fati and Lewandowski. This is a duo that I want to see build for the next couple of months. Ansu and Lewandowski, when we are in those tough moments, when we are going through a very low, deep block, Ansu Fati and Lewandowski is the answer to that. And so again, I want to give props towards Lewandowski, Ansu Fati, Pedri, Gavi for playing so well, doing what they could. This is the reason why we have achieved the 3 points. It was not our best game, but we had to go through in some way. So going into the next match, which will be against Inter Milan, I expect to see a much different Barcelona. This Barcelona that we saw, I do not think can compete with the Inter Milans or the Bayerns or the Real Madrids. Barcelona have to focus on 2 things in my opinion. Point number 1, build with Sergio Roberto in the short term, since we're not going to be having Koundé, we're not going to be having Araujo. So build with Sergio Roberto, get the best out of him, train with him a lot. I expect Sergio Roberto to work closely with Xavi in order for him to be the best right back possible. And if we do that, we could see Balde continue to play as a left back, because I just really do not ever want to see Balde playing as a right back again. I do not want to see Jordi Alba either. So it has to be a Sergio Roberto, Christensen, Eric Garcia, Balde defensive line moving forward within the short term. And then just hone in on Ansu Fati, right? Have him gain his confidence, have him become a better player game by game. And if we can do that, we will be okay. Because again, this was not the best Barcelona game. You look at the average expected goals that Barcelona and Mallorca had. Mallorca had a better average expected goal compared to FC Barcelona. So we must do better, and I hope that we do. And let's just move on to the next game. So that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona post-match review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.